GamingBolt presents 15 most shocking video game moments in the last decade. There's nothing like that moment when a video game does something that just makes you stop, put your controller down, and marvel at what you just witnessed. How a game does that, of course, can vary depending on what game you're playing. It can be anything from a major twist or an incredible boss fight to something visually gorgeous or an ingenious piece of game design that makes you do a double take. Here are 15 moments from the last decade when a video game had that sort of impact on us. If you agree or disagree with any of our choices, sound off in the comment section below. Uncharted 2 Among Thieves, the train set piece. The train set piece from Uncharted 2 is a thing of legend at this point, much like the rest of the game itself. With Uncharted 2, Naughty Dog showed the world that blockbuster action sequences can be done as well as they can in movies, if not better, and they don't have to be lengthy, flashy cutscenes. The train sequence from Uncharted 2 combined everything that the game was good at. Platforming, combat, heart-pumping action, and flashy cutscenes all came together in a single, seamless sequence that was made even better by the fact that it was all completely interactive. The Uncharted series has been trying to one-up the train set piece ever since, with the plane crash in Uncharted 3 and the intense Jeep chase in Uncharted 4. And while there's nothing but good things to be said about both of those, the train remains, to this day, the undisputed king.
Speeding train.
Haven't thought that far ahead.
Of course not.
Okay, here we go.
No, hold on. You're almost there. Just now. Jump!
What's that noise? Oh, no way! Enjoy the ride down, asshole! This is mine, jerkweed. Saved my ass again.
Telltale's The Walking Dead Season 1 Ending. Telltale surprised one and all when they released The Walking Dead back in 2012. It was an engaging, memorable experience and was probably one of the best games of the year. It had an engrossing, moving story that centered around a cast of extremely likable, well-written characters, and the game was never afraid to take risks. The ending of Season 1 was perhaps emblematic of that fact. Players spent close to a dozen hours playing as Lee Everett, and having to say goodbye to him as he died in the closing moments of the game was truly gut-wrenching. The fact that poor little Clementine had to be the one to pull the trigger in the end only served to turn a devastating moment into a tear-jerking one.
I'll miss you.
Me too.
Red Dead Redemption: The Death of John Marston. As it neared its final moments, Red Dead Redemption had already been one hell of a ride, an experience that would be remembered as one of the best of its generation. This particular moment elevated the game to an unbelievable level. As the story wound down and the pieces began to settle down, Red Dead Redemption threw one final gut punch at its fans. As John Marston enjoyed some downtime with his family, he was unexpectedly ambushed and brutally killed by an overwhelmingly large force of lawmen. It was a moment that no one saw coming, and one that was made all the more impactful because of how likable Marston had been as a protagonist throughout the entire game. Batman Arkham City, Joker's death. It is never easy to see the death of a protagonist, but who could have thought that seeing the main antagonist of the game die would be this impactful? It is something that you expect, something that you want to happen. Why then did it leave such an imprint on fans when the Joker died at the end of Arkham City? Well, quite simply because it's the Joker. The Clown Prince of Crime is synonymous with Batman, the yin to his yang, and there's something strangely infectious about his manic, psychopathic personality, in spite of all the horrifying things he insists on doing. Mark Hamill's performance only made him more magnetic and charismatic as a villain, and to see him actually die at the end was a truly shocking moment.
Are you happy now?
Do you want to know something funny? Even after everything you've done, I would have saved you.
That actually is pretty funny.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, No Russian. Modern Warfare 2 did the impossible and trumped everything with the infamous mission titled No Russian. Players had to watch and even participate in a violent, disturbing scene that portrayed the massacre of hundreds of civilians, only to find out at the end of the mission that the character they played as gets killed as well. It was a refreshingly bold thing for a video game to do, and the pure shock value of that mission cannot easily be replicated.
No Russian.
Gears of War 3, Dom's Sacrifice. The brotherly bond between Marcus Phoenix and Dom had been built up very well over the course of 3 games, and Dom was perhaps one of the only and most well-developed characters in the entire series. We knew his tragic backstory, we knew what drove him forward, and that is probably why his death shook us so badly. Dom's final moments were handled masterfully in Gears of War 3 as he sacrificed himself in desperate circumstances. The direction of the cutscenes, the dialogue, the way Marcus reacted to everything, and the music all worked in perfect symphony to deliver a truly moving moment.
Dom, what the fuck are you doing? Pulling the plug on him, Marcus! Jump, will you? Do it!
Portal 2, Shooting the Moon. Only a game as criminally insane and wonderfully bizarre as Portal 2 could do something like this and actually manage to pull it off. As the campaign of the game draws to a close, things come to a head as Chell and Wheatley engage in a not-so-climactic duel, if it can even be called that. The facility starts exploding around them, and the game then throws all semblance of sanity out the window as it makes you, the player, shoot a portal at the moon, allowing yourself, Wheatley, and everything around you to be sucked into a crushing vacuum. It was a truly genius moment that perfectly encapsulated the brilliance that was Portal 2, and we won't soon be forgetting it.
Space! Let go! We're in space! Let go! Let go! I'm still connected! I can pull myself in! I can still fix this!
I already fixed it, and you are not coming back.
Oh no! Change your plans! Hold on to me! Tighter! Grab me! Grab me! Grab me! Grab me!
Grand Theft Auto V, The Torture Scene. Rockstar's Grand Theft Auto franchise never shies away from delivering outrageous, in-your-face moments, but the series has rarely ever done something as gruesome, violent, and disturbing as the torture sequence in GTA V. In a mission that saw players controlling Michael and Trevor alternatively, players had to actively partake in torturing a man by who, all accounts, absolutely did not deserve it. The game did not shy away from showing the players all of the gory details, and the fact that we had to be more than just a passenger and were responsible for deciding how to torture our victim only made the entire sequence that much more shocking.
Hold on!
Best way to make a man talk is to stop him being able to talk.
That hurts too much!
Mr. Phillips, ask him about Tahir Javan.
What didn't you ask me? I know Tahir. I did his home theater. He lives in Chumash. They're right on the Western Highway.
Well, that wasn't so tough, was it?
No! Say this!
I don't see what all the fuss is about personally. It's all in your head, Ferdinand. Don't worry.
Enough! Dry him off!
Yep, he comes.
The black...
You, right-handed?
So what have you got for us? We need Trev to shake up your memory again?
No, he's got fear. He's got fear. I'm cooperating.
He's cooked. Quit it. Don't fry him.
Yeah, he went and pissed himself. No, he looks so peaceful sleeping there. I don't want to wake him. Rise and shine!
How long was I out?
Spec Ops: The Line, White Phosphorus Attack. Spec Ops: The Line is a truly incredible game, and one of the finest examples of storytelling done right in this medium. It was a game that explored the horrors of war and the impact it had on the people who fought in one, telling a very intimate, grounded story. And one of the scenes that went on to define the game's narrative, and in a way, the perception of the entire game as a whole, was the scene where the main characters are forced to use white phosphorus powder as a weapon to be able to burn their enemies to a crisp. However, what makes this scene so powerful is the fact that this decision has massive collateral damage, and the white phosphorus attack kills countless civilians as well. The cutscene that shows the aftermath and the effects of the attack is a somber and devastating one that has been imprinted in our memories quite permanently.
Are those civilians? Where'd they come from? There's no camp here.
They took him from the nest.
That hotel back at the storm wall? No, those can't be the civvies that got kidnapped. It's not possible.
Yeah, it is. That's why Gould stormed this place. He didn't want the gig. He was trying to rescue his people.
This is your fault, goddammit! Stop right there, Hugo. But it is! He wouldn't listen! He didn't have a choice! He turned us into fucking killers! That's enough, Sergeant! No! Control yourself! Now!
The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, entering Skellige. This moment is unlike any of the others we've mentioned in this feature. Entering Skellige was not part of an epic set piece or some intense action sequence or part of a massive twist reveal. No, it was quiet and peaceful and beautiful, but it was no less impactful than anything we've spoken about here. By the time you enter Skellige in The Witcher 3, you're more than halfway through the game, and then you see that there is a massive, completely new area in the game that you haven't even touched. It is such an unexpected, such a major change of scenery. Skellige is brimming with personality, and its rolling mountains and hardy folk are an absolute joy, together adding significantly to the wonderful atmosphere of The Witcher 3. And Skellige is not just a map that is full of dazzling sights and dangerous new beasts. It is also home to some of the best quests and side quests in the entire game. Mass Effect 2, The Suicide Mission. BioWare were at their absolute peak with Mass Effect 2, and Mass Effect 2, in turn, was at its absolute peak during the Suicide Mission. This was choice and consequence done right. Almost every major decision you made throughout the course of the game came into play, from the loyalty missions to something as simple as how much of the Normandy you had upgraded. The Suicide Mission was an excellent crafted 2 hours of an intense blend of gameplay and storytelling involving character deaths, climactic battles, and memorable gunfights, all on the basis of how you had played the entire game. It's hard to imagine BioWare, or anyone else for that matter, doing something that will come close to replicating the brilliance of the Suicide Mission for a long, long time to come.
Your species has the attention of those infinitely or greater. That which you know as Reapers are your salvation through destruction. have failed. We will find another way. Releasing control.
Halo Reach, the final act. Halo Reach is one of the best single-player campaigns you will ever see in a first-person shooter, and the fact that the game didn't even feature Master Chief makes that already incredible feat even more incredible. And during its final act, the game really kicks into gear. It's not the narrative or the unfolding of events that's shocking here. Anyone who has played Halo before already knows how the story of Reach is going to end. But seeing how wonderfully Bungie handled the somber, desolate, and melancholy climax of the game, depicting the fall of Reach, and how the death of every single major character in the entire game is an absolute delight, in the most depressing way possible.
Lieutenant, get aboard! We gotta get the hell out of here!
Negative. I have the gun. Good luck, sir.
Good luck to you, Spartan.
All burned and turned to glass. Everything. Except your courage. That you gave to us. And with it, we can rebuild.
Horizon Zero Dawn, Project Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn tells one of the most ambitious, riveting tales we have seen in a video game in recent memory, and nothing illustrates this point better than the moments in the game when the full truth behind Project Zero Dawn is revealed. There are countless moments in the game that will shock you, but finding out how the entire world was absolutely ravaged by terrifying machines 1,000 years ago takes the cake. The game presents this through somber audio logs and blocks of text, all intricately woven into the gameplay. In the moments when players are able to piece together the sheer scale and audacity of Elizabeth Sobek's plans to rebuild and repopulate the Earth are nothing short of staggering.
Life itself will cease to exist. But does that have to be the end? What if we could give life a future? What if we could build a kind of seed from which, on a dead planet, life could blossom anew? This is the aim, the hope, of Project Zero Dawn. To create a super intelligent, fully automated terraforming system and bring life back from lifelessness. What would such a system require? At its core, it would need a true AI, fully capable of making the trillions of decisions necessary to reconstitute the biosphere. But that's just the core of the system. She will need to be surrounded and empowered by a comprehensive suite of subordinate functions. Think of them as extensions of Gaia's mind, each dedicated to a specific purpose. Now, these aren't AIs, but make no mistake, each presents an engineering challenge more profound than anything the human species has ever before attempted. Hardware that preserves and then gestates the billions of seeds and embryos from which life will be reborn. The construction of underground facilities to hold it all. And that's just the start. We don't have to build the entire system. The beauty of a fully automated terraforming system is that it can build itself. Now, over the days to come, you'll learn how all these functions, all these pieces that you'll be working on, fit together. How we'll race the clock to execute our harvest initiatives, write the software, build the tech and the facilities. How we'll lock it down and seal it up before the inevitable occurs. But even more important, you'll know how it doesn't end here. How Gaia will generate those deactivation codes General Harris talked about, and build the transmission arrays to broadcast them, shutting down the Pharaoh robots for good. How Gaia will not just build, but imagine any conceivable robot it needs to do its work across centuries. From detoxifying the Earth's ravaged atmosphere and poisoned seas, to the regreening of the Earth from cryopreserved seed stalks, to rewilding the Earth with animal life. And then, when all that is done, how a new generation of human beings, spawned at cradle facilities around the globe, will partake of Apollo, the vast archive of human knowledge and cultural achievement from which they will learn of us, our world, and most important, how not to repeat our mistakes. It's not an impossible dream. It is within our grasp if we work tirelessly and stop at nothing to achieve it. We can't stop life from ending. But if you will help me, help Gaia, we can give it a future. Join me and help make that future real.
Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, Venom Snake's identity. This is one of the most divisive moments in the history of not just Metal Gear franchise, but perhaps this entire industry as a whole. Hideo Kojima has never shied away from pulling the rug from underneath the player's feet, but he truly outdid himself with The Phantom Pain. You spend the entire game thinking you've played as Big Boss, only to find out right at the end that Venom Snake is actually just a clone. Say what you will about it, but it's a very brave move by the game and by Kojima. Regardless of whether or not you like this colossal twist, it is undeniable that the audacity of this reveal is spectacularly impressive to say the least.
No time for anesthetic. We have to open her now. Boss.
Now do you remember who you are? What you were meant to do? I cheated death thanks to you. And thanks to you, I've left my mark. You have too. You've written your own history. You're your own man. I'm Big Boss. And you are too. No. He's the two of us together. Where we are today, we built it. This story, this legend, it's ours. We can change the world and with it the future. I am you and you are me. Carry that with you wherever you go. Thank you, my friend. From here on out, you're Big Boss.
The Last of Us, the ending. The Last of Us was an unforgettable journey from start to finish, with countless unforgettable moments. But the one that really sticks with you is in the ending. The game subverts all explicit and implicit audience interactions to reveal to you, the player, that you have in fact been playing as the villain all along, at least from the perspective of humanity at large. But what makes it as awesome as it is the fact that The Last of Us never really makes a big deal of it either. The bond between Joel and Ellie is the centerpiece of the story it tells, and the fact that Joel decides to save Ellie while jeopardizing the future of the entire human race and heartlessly murdering scores of people in the process makes perfect sense, in spite of how horrible it really is. It's by no means a happy ending. It's unconventional, and it makes the player uncomfortable about what Joel, a man who we've been rooting for throughout this entire game, does and turns into. But that is exactly what makes it work.
You can't save her. Even if you get her out of here, then what? How long before she's torn to pieces by a pack of clickers? That is, if she hasn't been raped and murdered first.
It ain't for you to decide.
It's what she'd want. You know it. Look. You can still do the right thing here. She won't feel anything.
What the hell am I wearing?
Just take it easy. Drugs are still wearing off.
What happened?
We found the fireflies. Turns out there's a whole lot more like you, Ellie. People that are immune. There's dozens, actually. Ain't done them a damn bit of good, neither. They've stopped looking for a cure. I'm taking us home. I'm sorry.
Wait! Let me go. Please.
You just come after her.
Back in Boston? Back when I was bitten? I wasn't alone. My best friend was there. And she got bit too. We didn't know what to do. So, she says, let's just wait it out. You know, we can be all poetic and just lose our minds together. I'm still waiting for my turn.
Ellie.
Her name was Riley, and she was the first to die. And then it was Tess. And then Sam.
None of that is on you.
Oh, you don't understand.
I struggled for a long time with surviving. And you... No matter what, you keep finding something to fight for. Now, I know that's not what you want to hear right now.
Swear to me. Swear to me that everything that you said about the Fireflies is true.
I swear.
Okay.
And that'll be about it for this one. If you guys like what we're doing at GamingBolt, please consider subscribing to our channel, and I'll see you guys on the next video.